quickly, Lance, on the pass defense, are there times when, I think you mentioned this earlier this year, which is why I'm asking you, when you're okay with a guy like getting reception like the Washington kid that had 100-something yards the other day? I mean, there were times where like you weren't manning up on him or anything. I'm assuming that was part of the scheme, like what you've talked about in the past.
Yeah, you try to take away their best plays, and if they have a tendency where they putting a guy in a certain spot, and you try to compensate for that, but when they put them in all kind of different places, it kind of hinders you, you know. So it's part of the game. If you stop them from running, stop them from doing things, they'll throw. If you stop them from throwing, then they'll try to run. So it's a cat and mouse game the whole time, and I don't know. We find a way to win games, which is good, you know. So however we do it, let's hope we keep doing it.
The weekly Ruben Bay question. How does he continue to keep getting better and keep playing well, progressing, even as it's tough for every guy playing ACC opponents and stuff?
Yeah, each week's a different week. Some weeks he might have more success than others. It just depends what they're trying to do to him. Going forward, they'll probably try to pay more attention to where he's at in the defense, and maybe they do things to it. But right now, they're kind of playing it straight up. So Ruben's doing a great job. He's a very powerful young man, and he just keeps getting better. He's a student of the game, so I expect him to continue to play well.
It seemed like Jaden Wayne flexed a little bit this past weekend. Just how have you seen him progress since he's gotten here?
He's progressing. The more reps he gets, the better he's getting. So he can do some things for us. He plays really hard, and that's the good thing about him. Even if he messes up a little bit, he plays extremely hard, so he's starting to make some plays, and his future is bright as well, so I'm excited about it.
We'll see. Do you think we'll see a little bit more of him? Because Akeem's obviously out for the year now. Nigel's probably out for the year. Do you expect to see more playing time for him?
Yeah, he'll play more, of course. As we go through it and we look at different packages and what they have on the field, what packages we put on the field, we may go bigger sometimes. We may go with Harrison Hunt maybe out of the defensive end, So it just depends. Dean's coming back healthy, which is good. So you've got some experienced guys, but Jaden Wayne definitely get in there and he'll mix it up and he'll continue to get better.
Like James Williams was all over the field. How did you assess his performance?
He keeps getting better, it seems like. He's making big plays. He's being a good leader out there. So right now I feel like we're playing pretty good at certain spots. He's one of the bright spots, of course, and he needs to continue to play well. But he's making some big-time stops. There was two of them. One was, of course, going right before overtime where they kicked the field goal. The quarterback had broke containment, and he came out of coverage and stopped him short, for a first down. And, of course, in overtime, they motioned into the boundary, had a big stop, which forced the field goal. So he's playing well. He needs to continue to play well, and I think he's got a lot of good football left in him.
You guys came up big again in overtime. Just kind of take us through that period.
Whew. This one was tougher. The Clemson one I felt better because I felt like we were playing really good the whole game. This one was tough. I was glad we went on defense first, but I didn't know what we was going to get. And so I jumped into a bare front, and we stopped them on the first two downs, got them to third down, and then we made the stop. I felt good at that point when we forced a field goal. And when the offense came on the field and we was able to run the ball on first down and move the chains like that, I really felt good. I felt like we was going to score, but this one was a lot closer, it seemed like. I don't know. The other one, I just felt better against Clemson. This one the game was kind of crazy a little bit. So tough game. Can't have too many more of those overtimes, man. I don't know how many I got left in me. So, but it's always good when you can win ones like that because it shows you that your team's mentally tough and they believe that they can win, and they're finding a way. So it's awesome.
I was going to ask you about that, the confidence factor that gives them, knowing that they've been doing that. Is that a little contagious?
Yeah, I think it is, and it kind of goes back to the Texas A&M game when we got down and we came back. Of course, I wish we could get the Georgia Tech game back. I wish we could have got that stop on them. But toward the end of games, we've been playing really well, especially in tight spots. And I think that they're believing from those experiences. And when you have success like that at the end of games, it builds confidence to where you never think you're out of a game. So that's awesome for this program. This program hasn't done that in a while, and we're starting to learn how to win and win them close ones. And, different programs do it a different way, and we're starting to get to where we're winning close ones at the end, but I don't like to go in them overtimes at all.
Think of the performance on third down.
They've gotten some more third and mediums, and they converted some things. They had a good game plan. I thought they did a really good job. They're a football team that's getting better and better. You watched them against North Carolina, and it wasn't just a fluke. They outplayed North Carolina, and they came in here, and at times they outplayed us, and they had a good third down package. It's probably one of our worst days. I think they were 42% on third down, and we try to keep them below 40%. But I think we created too many third and mediums. We need to get more long yardage ones, and so it was average, a little bit below average, I thought, on third down. But they did a good job.
You talk about tough spots. I don't know if you keep stats on this enough, but at least from watching, it seems like you guys are really good all year long in tough spots. It's when you're scheming, you're bringing your wrinkles in, and they seem to have been really, really effective. Where it looks like where you struggle sometimes is when you're in base defense. Are you continuing to see that? Is that?
Well, you come out early in the game and you don't know what you're going to get. You have no idea what they've been working on. So you call kind of base defenses, and or you can go to different. You can call out pressure, but you just don't know what you're going to get. You kind of want to feel like, okay, what are they trying to do? What have they worked on? And then you got to be able to counter. And through the first half, we were struggling at times, especially first couple drives. And then we kind of got them settled down. We started playing better. I thought we had a good third down run, but I think there was maybe a turnover. Something happened in the third where we kind of, but I thought we were still in a good shape. And then we battled back offensively. And fourth quarter, I felt good. So there's a little bit of cat and mouse game, a little bit what they were doing. But I thought the guys responded well. And what they're doing a better job at is being able to come to the sideline and adjust. Whereas before, I don't think we adjusted well. So we're adjusting well on the sideline, and each series is something different. So we've got coaches are doing a good job of seeing what the offense is doing and writing it down and charting, and then coming back and being able to correct on the sideline. So, we got a tough group mentally. I like our mindset. Sometimes when we go up by a little bit too much, we relax, and so we got to keep our foot on the gas. But I think we got a mentally tough group.
What have you seen on film from NC State's offense and from their quarterback, MJ Morris?
Does a good job. He throws the ball well. He's got a quick release. He can change his arm angles. He's a good athlete. He's a little bit more calmer than the guy that they started at the beginning of the season. They have a guy that plays wide out that comes into the backfield who plays running back as well. He's a good football player. He's a freshman, number 10. They do some good things. They're a physical football team. I think their old line is scrappy, really, really scrappy. And, we're going to have to do some things to try to create some lost yardage plays early and get them on some third and longs. So we'll try to get as creative as we can, but we need to come out and play well. We need to start faster this game. I thought last week we didn't play fast. It really wasn't so much what they were doing. I just think that we looked a little lethargic, kind of like we did in the third quarter of North Carolina. That's kind of the way it felt. But then we got jump-started back, and we started playing well. So hopefully we need to come out quick this game. We don't need to come out lethargic looking. So.
What does it take to kind of contain that kind of freshman talent who can get it done on the ground, but can also create space for him as a receiver, as a freshman, Kevin Concepcion, who we mentioned?
Yeah, he's very, very quick, and when he goes in the backfield, he runs like a running back. So there's different things that you have to do because he's a wide receiver that might be covered by a defensive back, and all of a sudden he's in the backfield. Well, then, okay, what do you do with your defensive back? You can't play him at linebacker. So there's different things you have to do when guys are doing that. So it creates problems. There's a reason why they do it. So they're going to try to get him the ball probably 10 to 12 times a game, touches, because he's a playmaker. And so that's the task right now is how do we combat him being in the backfield and do all the different things that he does.
How about Cam and his game? Obviously, it seemed a little up and down from my perspective. I guess made a big play, but also
He wish he could have made that tackle on that sail route. TC kind of undressed him a little bit. I call it when they ran the naked. They had a guy going in the flat, but we had a linebacker covering him, and TC came down and opened that void behind him. Whereas TC really needed to play, top down a little bit, so he undressed Cam a little bit, and Cam was kind of behind the play, and he just missed the guy on the tackle. He wished he could have got it back, but TC turned and ran and caught him, And when he caught him, we forced a field goal right there, which was a huge play. And I always tell the guys, if you give up a big play, if you get them down, you reset the chains. And if you can hold them to a field goal, it's worth it. But you can't let big plays go for touchdowns. And so that's one I'm sure he would like to have back. But I tell you what, I'll take that pick six every day of the week. So Cam's that type of guy. And both of the safeties, I think are playing well. Not great. I mean, nobody's perfect, but they've made the plays they needed to play, to make plays, to win games.
NC State got a lot of offense against that Clemson defense last week. Do you see your team showing a similar level of blitz early on with rushing 4 or 5, or do you see the offense forcing that defense into corner coverage and the nickel coverage?
You're going to tell them the game plan? Clemson did a great job. Clemson held them to a little bit over 200 yards, whatever it was. I think they only ran 40 or 50 plays against Clemson. So Clemson got after them a little bit, but they made the plays they needed to make. They made some big plays, and we'll have to cat and mouse them a little bit. We might have to play soft sometimes and come get them a little bit. So we're just on Monday, so I'm still watching film and try to see what's the best scenario to try and win this football game.
With Harrison Hunt, what you mentioned and what he's been able to prove on this front seven, what makes him that versatile to be able to earn certain snaps on defensive end?
Well, he's an athlete, so he's a big guy that really runs well. So he's kind of like Bain. I said it before. He's a little bit more of a pass rusher, not for us with power, but with speed rush. So he's a guy, you get him out on the edge. He's a good athlete as well, and he's a little bit bigger of a body. So he's a guy we can move around a lot. So he just continues to get better. Last week they took a bunch of snaps. We played too many snaps. We played around 88 snaps, I think it was, and that's way too many. We need to be in the 70 range in a football game. So, but if we got to play 80, 90, 100, whatever, we got to play them. But I think we took too many last week.
How good is the tough Branson defense?
It's nice. Branson's, we thought going in was one of the better defensive linemen we had, and then he got banged up a little bit, and we've been missing him. I mean, we've been without him and Mesidor and Najee. That was 3 of the starting 4, so getting him back is awesome, of course. So he'll add a lot of depth so we can do more rotation, and he'll get a lot more snaps this week, which will relieve LT and Harrison.
Anything else? Awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.